Hey there, this is Anna with Anchored Creative Studio. This video is to show you a little bit about Asana, which is a program that I use for project management here at Anchored Creative Studio. I started using Asana just to honestly really get more organized with my clients. I have come across so many situations where an email accidentally gets deleted or a client can't find something in a super long email thread. And so I'd been searching for a while to figure out a tool that was easy to use and also just really kept things simple. And I found that in Asana. So, to get started and how you got here was I sent you a link in your email. I recommend that you go ahead and bookmark that link, keep it somewhere safe so that you always have it. You can always go to it because this is kind of how we will do everything in our project. So the link should have brought you to a page that looks similar to this. But if you ever get lost, you can look over here on the left-hand side underneath Anchored Creative Studio. Everything that is a client project has this gray color. And it says client project. So just find yours, click on it, and you'll be taken to the screen that you need to go to. And for this is called branding template. You can see it here, but if you are not doing a branding project with us, if you're doing some sort of other project, this will still apply to you. Branding projects are usually the most complex projects that I do, so I thought this would be a really good overview. We can really get into the nitty-gritty. So, how you probably found this video is you'll start here just by clicking the very first thing on this task list, where you see these check marks. As soon as you do something, you can just hit mark complete right here, and it will show you everything that you've already completed so that you can just get that out of the way. And on your own project board, you'll have all of these different sections. For here, we have getting started, brand strategy and brand identity design, refinement 1, 2, and a wrap-up section. This will probably look pretty similar to whatever project you are doing with us. Definitely the refinements and the design and the wrap-up portions are going to be pretty similar for everyone. So here under getting started, the first little check mark just kind of tells you where your client homework is, and there'll be a link to this video. This will always be right here in case you need to come back and look at it. There'll also be things here for you to sign your contract. There will be a nice little link here for you, and also a place to make your initial payments. There will also be due dates, as you can see right here. This will change depending on when your due date is for this part of the project. But I really love this feature in Asana because not only does it tell you when something is due, but you can also kind of visualize what the timeline looks like. And you can look ahead, so you can always have these dates right here on hand. Also, as you can see, here's a picture of my little face right here. Anything that has me next to it means it's something I'm doing. If it is blank, it means it is you. So for example, it's your responsibility to do your homework, sign the contract, make this initial payment. As you can tell, a lot of your tasks are up front and then sprinkled throughout to give your feedback. So yeah, so moving on beyond getting started, starting with brand strategy, I will follow up with any homework questions that I have after you filled out your homework. I will leave them here, and you will get a notification whenever a comment is left. So you don't necessarily need to always come back and check this page. You will get an email with whatever email address I have from you automatically so that you know that you should come back and check something. Whenever I am presenting strategy, which even if we are not doing a branding project together, even if we're doing something else, there will be some sort of creative brief to go over. And so this information is boilerplate. This is just the description where I say I'll be presenting your brand strategy via PDF. I'll also include a brief video recording to aim to aid in explaining my strategy and rationale. That will be a video super similar to this, where I have my screen up here and I will just walk you through what I'm thinking, so that it's almost like we are sitting side by side, even if we live in different time zones in different countries, whatever it may be. I've found that to be really helpful, and I will also include that PDF link just so you have it, so that we can go through that original recording, but then you can look at it a little more in depth. So for this, I obviously haven't created a video for it because this is an example, but I did just include a sneak peek of a little brand strategy that I've done for a past client, just so you can see what it's going to look like. I always send my stuff via Google Drive. This is one that has brand summary, brand values, a motto, mission and vision statement. This one doesn't have a mood board in it, but yours most likely will. If we are not working on a branding project together, it'll probably look a little something like this, and I'll also have some other little bits and pieces from your brand to take a look at. And so that'll be that. Going on to the next bit, if you have feedback for it, I had done another example here, but you could say something like this, like, I love it. My only comment is to change X, Y, and Z. If you approve it, you can honestly go ahead and skip this next step and just check off brand strategy approval, or you can just comment and say approved, because that's this, this step right here is only if it's necessary. If there are bigger changes that you want to make, or bigger discussions you want to have, we can then talk about it. If there is larger things that you would like to see implemented in the brand strategy before we go forward, we can talk about it here. But if you look at it at first and you say 100%, we're ready to go, you can just boom, 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 check all this stuff off, and we can move right on to the design portion. So like I said, I really love how you can see when people are going to be working on what here. And so when I was working through this earlier, I left this as an example. Say you saw on December 7th, I was going to start working on this. You could just leave a comment. Say you found a photo that you really love the aesthetic of, and you saw that, say it's December 5th, and I wasn't working on this yet. You could just leave this here. I could let you know if I have any questions. We can just keep all of that communication in one place so that there's no missing anything. It's just all in one thread, and we both get email notifications whenever something's new. And so same sort of thing here. Similar to brand strategy, I will give you a link here. In those initial options, you're going to be getting your primary logo, submark, sublogo options, brand color palette and typography, and a brand application. I'll also be walking you through it on a video. Again, if you're not a branding client, this will be similar, but maybe a little bit different. And so this is what it will look like. Color palette. These are the brand applications. This was actually from a client that was a little bit further into the process, and so there's not several options. These were just the last applications so that they could see it before we wrapped things up. But nice and simple, and in the video I will walk you through the rationale for each of these. And yeah, and then if you have edits to that, you will leave them here. Again, there's recommendations on how to leave that feedback, being specific, keeping your audience in mind. If something isn't feeling right, I always just tell clients to go back to your audience. If you, for example, are in a certain age range and your ideal client, your ideal audience is in a different age range, don't think as yourself. Take off your thinking cap for whatever age range you are in and put another one on that has the the age range of your ideal audience on it. And that's a great way to really think through these options and make sure you're thinking through it correctly and making the right decisions to stand out from the crowd. And so again, if we need to have a discussion here, we will. Either of us can request a phone call at this stage. And then from here, refinement 1, refinement 2, which every package includes, we will just work through those things. I'll be working on the refinement. I'll be presenting the options here, and then you'll be giving feedback. And then I will be presenting the final branding. Just realized these are in the wrong order. I'll be presenting the final branding options, and then any small tweaks that need to be done from there. And then the wrap-up section is going to be a little different depending on what your project looks like. If we have a lot of brand collateral to work on, we'll be working on that. There might be some more specific steps that are drawn out here, but working on that brand collateral, presenting that brand collateral, gathering feedback, and then completing that refinement, presenting the final collateral. Again, there will be a link here for you to make your final payments. I'll be sending over your final assets via a zip file that, again, will just live here until for a long time. And even if this page is archived, you can still check it out. And if you ever have any problems, just let me know. And from here, I will be posting a little survey for you to leave your feedback, both on Asana and on our experience overall together. There will be links for you to leave reviews and all of that good stuff. So again, you can always find this video in the Start Here section. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Super excited about working on this project together. And yeah, looking forward to getting started. Thanks so much.